And we welcome you back. This undoubtedly is one of the highlights of the day, with another of our international visitors in Victor Smolin. And as I welcome Frank Fry back to the microphone, before we cross out to Graham McNaney, I might just get you two gentlemen to quickly comment on this man's performance.
This is just absolutely unbelievable. The Yak is just a super aeroplane. It's a big aeroplane. It just projects such beautiful lines. And this is the world master performing.
I get the feeling, while you're looking at him, you're pretty impressed by this machine.
Just outstanding. Really is, Andy.
You'll notice you've got a big radial engine here. The sound is completely different. It looks so effortless. You wouldn't believe how hard the pilot's working in there. Look at that Lomshevac, just end over end, pointing down. These pilots from the USSR are so drilled, nothing goes wrong. They are so good at it. He just does snap roll after snap roll. I get lost with the way he flies.
Yeah, well, he just makes it look so easy, doesn't he? It's effortless.
Yeah, but in fact it's the aeroplane that's effortless. The way that he's working. He's in a class of his own though, Victor. Even at the World Championship he was several places ahead of everybody else in the...
aeroplane's about to slide backwards here. Look at that.
Not a wobble, not a murmur, right on line.
The amount of G he's pulling in that turn is unbelievable. It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, what would he be pulling there, Frank? 7, 8 times his own weight?
I looked at his G meter when he came back in the last flight, and he pulled 9.5 G.
9.5 times his own weight. Great view from our chopper. Half roll, pulling over to a half loop.
Perfect half loop over the top.
Speed's building up at the bottom, and into a double snap roll, a single snap roll to knife edge flight.
Right.
He loses me. I can't keep up with him. He's so good. He's doing a full 180-degree turn here with the snap rolls as he turns through the horizon.
Negative snap. Wow.
And there's the end of the sequence. That's the nicest sequence I've seen so far. But how do you judge it?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what does happen, because he finished the first round in 4th spot, just behind Frank Fry, who's with us now. So it'll be interesting to see how that brings him up. Now, Victor Smolin and his plane, the Yak 50, world aerobatic champion, 82 European champion, living now in Leningrad, and is a full-time professor. And we welcome you back to Schofield Air Base. Now, this is the Russian star in the Yak 50, Victor Smolin.
Just lifting off the ground, and up comes the gear. The only retractable undercarriage aeroplane in the competition, with the big radial, 360 horsepower. We're going to see mastery in action this time, Sandy. This aeroplane and this pilot fly beautifully.
Well, it's interesting to compare Victor and his machine with someone like Kermit and the Weeks Solution.
Well, as you remember, the Weeks Solution, all power, precision, a really mean, well-performing aeroplane. This is graceful, and here he goes with his sequence. Third wing waggle, and I've got it. He's being taped, rolling in, and he's going to done his 2 rolls on a 45 and out, pulling up 1.5 roll. He's got written for me 1, 2. Oh, he's put a little twist on that. You notice how he did a half, then a full, then another half. Stall turn. That's how high he is in the box, Sandy. It's because you'd almost hear the ding as they go out. Because he wouldn't have gone out. He's such a good pilot.
Uses every inch of it, though.
Doesn't he? A flat spin, a positive flat spin coming down. So graceful, so slow turning. And out. Spot on line. got a lot to catch up. His 0-1 manoeuvre in the unknown sequence, which is dropping him back. Right over the judges' heads. Up he goes. Cap Lomshevac. No, he went for a full Lomshevac. End over end. Down the vertical. 60 horsepower. Trading height for speed. Coming out. 200 knots. Pulling up. Lovely pull over the top. How do you judge it? Sandy, versatility, harmony and rhythm?
Well,
positioning, execution would have to score well, wouldn't it?
Yes. Tremendous execution. And the man himself is a very powerfully built man. He's like, the man is like his machine.
He certainly is. At World Championship, you can see them with their rubber bungee cords. They tie them to trees and exercise every morning before they go flying. Coming up, quarter roll, pulling over the top. He's Lomshevac crazy today.
Now, Kermit, we noticed, had a little bit of time up his sleeve. It'll be interesting to see what use Victor makes of his 4 minutes. I would imagine he would use every second. He's just past the halfway stage, has he not, Phil?
2.25 minutes. Came out to a 45-degree loop, pulling up into another 45-degree loop, snapping, pulling it over, pointing earthwards. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a mark, nothing offline. I think he might be catching up in the sequence. The aeroplane has a strange sound to it. It's just a quiet rumble. Doesn't move. Tipping the nose forward. You notice how he cheated a little bit in that. Falling down. The pendulum effect of a tail slide is not counted. They do not count the pendulum effect. It's only when they hit the vertical for the second time that they're judged. Half roll up. Holding it. He's very low for a big aeroplane. We're putting it right in the judge's laps. Another tail slide, one after the other. Sometimes I think he's honestly not going to pull out. You can't see how this big aeroplane manages to turn the corner so well. Painted red underneath, white on top. Pulling down. Roaring along the x-axis, as we call it. A snap and a half to, snap and a quarter to knife edge. Beautiful knife edge turn. Another half snap and pushing around an outside turn, getting flung to the outside of the cockpit. The straps are biting into his skin, losing a bit of height there. They'll notice that on execution. What a magnificent snap roll. At the bottom of the limit, 300 feet. Towards the crowd and turned that way. Outside the deadline, looking very nice, and there it goes, 4 minutes and 2 seconds.
So with 5 second leeway either side, he is there with time in hand. And your assessment of that, will it lift him, Bill? And if so, can it lift him high enough?
I don't think it can lift him high enough, Sandy. You cannot afford to zero manoeuvre in this competition. Kermit hasn't zeroed one. He's in the lead at the moment with 7,756 points. We've only got a few scores in. Good is second. Mal Beard is third. It'll be nice to see how Victor goes, but I'm almost certain he can't pull up. Frank Fry did very well, didn't zero manoeuvre.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see how Frank